we're going to take every challenge as it comes instead of letting the fear of the future ruin the happiness of today.
Like, I love Paige, but like, I'm almost becoming like the best version of myself. And so if we work out, we work out. But if we don't, it's not the end of the world.
Honestly, I wasn't upset about it at all because I think everything he said, I agreed with. Yes, in statistics, people could potentially break up. We have a higher rate because we do long distance. But I think if we weren't acknowledging that, we would be really naive. So I think Craig and I do a good job of talking about all the things that maybe are taboo or like scary to talk about before big life events. So I was thankful that he said that because I feel the same way. I know he felt that way. And so it honestly put me at ease.
I think it's just not being like delusional, like we don't, just because we're on TV and stuff doesn't mean that we're not going to deal with the exact same things that everyone else out there does. And
like closet space. Issue.
And I hope that people can watch us and, we get so many messages from long distance couples or when one person has to go away for work or when it might not be. And if we were to sit there and act like everything just works out every single time, I just think that would be, dishonest. So obviously we want it to work out, but yes, it's going to work out.
Maybe Panera will cater our wedding.
Yeah.
There you go.
Do you see a world in which you don't end up with her?
I mean, there's always that chance, right? I mean, we do live in different places. Like, she lives in New York City. She loves New York. I love Charleston. I run a company out of Charleston. Like, it's very probable. You would be naive to be like, oh, it's all just going to work out.
That was what I was trying to tell Kyle is if you try to, put on this grand illusion that like every single thing is figured out, like that's when there's trouble, but for us, we're like, hey, we haven't figured out everything yet, but we love each other and we're happier together than we are apart. And we're going to take every challenge as it comes instead of letting the fear of the future ruin the happiness of today.
Right for 2024. I mean, just getting to the real issues.
I love my apartment, but I feel like something's missing. I want to involve Craig in this because I do value his opinion and like I do kind of like him, so like I do want him to be excited on like where we are living when he's here, even though it's my apartment and what I say goes.
I actually did, and I'm moving like within the month, and Craig has ample closet space. I mean, he's drowning in closet space.
See, we're moving up.
Nah, if he doesn't want to be my boy, that's on him. I'm a nice, friendly guy. Like,
Yeah. I would think that at least she hyped this up.
yeah, or she was like, Jesse flirts with me. You can fit like a full 12-ounce beer in this thing.
Good for you.
Yeah. No, good for you.
Good for me.
Yeah, I hope. There is a small part of me that's like, I hope this guy's chill because he could take this the wrong way and just like try to beef with me.
I mean, I took it as a compliment. Paige is a really pretty girl, and I think that's just part of my kind of growth. And I don't know. I just didn't get angry. I took it more as a compliment. I don't know. And then people thought it was weird that I wasn't upset, and I was like,
Jesse's also very silly, and like our friend, you'll see like throughout the course of it that it's just like a friendship, and he also realizes like we're friends with everyone. So it honestly wasn't that big of a deal because we're also like very playful. I tell Craig everything, so he like knew coming into the house. But it wasn't as like drama as people assume.
well, and then Jesse, came right up to me when I got to the house. And I was like, hey man, all good. And I was like, dude, there's so many bigger fires going on.
We got bigger problems in this house.
Bravo, the Bravo world. So he sent me a nice text the other day. I said, all good.
I hate what happened Friday night. Like I said, I started realizing I'm being annoyed and frustrated.
I don't want to hear Carl's bark because I might give the ring back. Drink spilled.
It's funny, every season watching back, obviously, I live in the house with everyone, but I'm not in every single conversation. I don't hear about every conversation. So it's funny sometimes to watch it back and be like, wow, I had no idea people were in another room talking about this and we were over here talking about that. So I think every year I get a little bit like, oh, didn't know that was a conversation, and this year is no different. So I think people will have to see like how it plays out. I'm even interested in watching. I'm like, I can't believe they said that. So I'm just as shocked as the viewers on some things.
Yeah. I'm gonna sneak into that reunion and watch from backstage, Chris.
Reunion day is always like my most anxious day. You know, it's 8 hours of just going through stuff, and I'm really there for my hair and makeup and my glam and my outfit, and so that I don't get fined. And so every year, every time I leave, I was never expecting what happened that day, and I'm sure it will be the same 6 years around now.
Back in the Hamptons. Do you want me to get all your stuff?
Yeah. We're in the big kids room.
Oh, no way. Whoa. This is huge.
I know.
Yeah, I decided to just throw away my contract with NBC today and tell you all of that good stuff. Madison doesn't follow the rules as much as I do, according to her Amazon Lives. You know, if we come back, I'm really excited to continue to share, you know, our journey, which, you know, people think has been a decade now, but it's only 2.5 years that Paige and I have dated. And, you know, Sewing Down South, we just signed on a lease in our store in Nashville. And so there's a lot to cover with that. And I think really evolving Southern Charm into more of like seeing this. Some of us have taken steps to grow up a little bit now that we're in our 30s and 40s. But man, well, shit. But there's a lot of unanswered questions from the last time you saw us was the reunion. And Shep, you know, Austin and I had a conversation, and we don't know where that's going to go, you know? And there's a lot of other cast members, or there's a lot of other friends with unanswered questions from last year. So if we come back, I'm excited to share all that, and we'll see what happens.
I think this is actually one of the most organic partnerships I've ever had, because a couple of years ago when we first started touring Giggly Squad Live, I would order Panera before every show because I knew it was going to be good. I knew it was going to fill me up, and everyone would make fun of me like, you like Panera? And I'm like, no, I don't like Panera. I love Panera. And when Craig and I first started dating, one of like the first mornings we woke up, like, you know, after a night of going out, we looked at each other and we're like, Panera?
We've eaten more Panera than any other like restaurant there is.
Well, the one caveat is we only eat Panera in bed. Like, we can't sit anywhere else except the bed to eat mac and cheese. And now that there's a new mac and cheese, we have to buy a new bed.
Well, we always ate soups before, but now they have this whole new era with salads and sandwiches. And I'm usually against eating in the bed, but I don't put up a fight with Panera. Yeah.